Hi y'all, I'm Takara. This is my husband Kylan, and we're here with another episode of Mutual Intentional Love. So right now the babies are napping, so we tried to jump on that time and do another episode for y'all.
Yeah.
So we hope you're here. I mean, you are obviously are if you're listening. So thank you for being here. That's what I meant to say. Do you know that still sleepy forever?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't even know how much time we got as far as sleep goes.
Not much at all.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. And, speaking of how much time and nap time and that's the theme, time and our quality time and how we like to spend time with each other. I don't know if you've heard of the 5 love languages, but that's one of the 5 love languages, which is quality time.
Yeah.
And it's certainly one for the both of us, which is like amazing how that worked out. Just another thing that was similar for us and just made our relationship that much easier because we enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know when COVID was a whole thing where you were stuck in the house with your spouse, so many people found that really difficult.
Oof, yeah.
We like being in the house.
For sure.
We like spending time with each other. We we just like to be together, and we do everything together. We grocery shop together. We go everywhere together. We do everything together.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Yeah. So I think where should we start as far as I guess one of our hobbies, maybe an example of a way that we spend quality time. For example, when at work on my lunch breaks, we like to read. I'll usually eat before lunch.
Yeah, that's one of the amazing things that we've always tried to do. Even in the earliest stage of our relationship, we tried to align our schedules to where it was possible for us to always have that quality time, find the moments where we could spend that time together and connect. So we would have these calls, we would make sure we'd be able to do a call, and we would read together.
Yeah.
And that was really amazing, and it's something we've been able to kind of keep up with throughout our relationship and into our marriage. And that's a really beautiful thing that I really love.
And who would have thought that would even be a thing, that somebody would want to even sit and listen? And that's another thing,
yeah.
Kylan is an amazing listener in all aspects of the form of listening. Being able to retain information.
Wait a minute.
I don't know why you're stopping me, as if it's not true.
You did not hit me with the government name with these people.
What you mean? I said Kylan. We say that at the beginning of every episode. You're my husband, Kylan.
Okay. It's an introduction.
Yeah.
We're in
I'm talking
the
to
thick
them.
of the episode
I can't
right
be
now.
Babe.
You absolutely can.
Okay.
These people know what my name is by now.
When we talk to each other, obviously, I literally don't ever call him Kylan, ever.
No.
But I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to y'all.
Nah, man.
So it made sense to me.
Nah, man, that's weird.
I thought
that would be like me calling myself Kylan.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's talking about yourself.
That's so weird.
It would be like you telling them Takara, and it makes sense.
No.
Oh my gosh. So, Babe is an amazing listener. That's what it feels like. It feels like, I'm not Babe. That's what it feels like. I don't know why. Okay. Can we get back on topic, please? He, amazing listener, is able to retain, all things said forever. Not even, temporarily, because that's how it would be for me. I'm going to forget quite quickly. Although, I don't know. I can't even explain my own memory.
Yeah. You have a very unique
a selective
memory.
Good memory.
Yeah, for sure. You're also, amazing with memorizing numbers. You can memorize numbers because, like, you memorize numbers from however many years ago. You see a sequence of numbers once, and you pretty much memorize it. I can't do that. I don't
Mm.
do that. I cannot memorize any sort of numbers. I mean, I can to a certain extent, like phone numbers, sure.
Yeah.
But you memorize the most random assortment of numbers, and somehow
It's
it makes
not
sense.
it's not random. Like we're talking about a
It
driver's
is.
license number. Mine specifically, obviously.
This woman has memorized her library card number. Who knows that?
I
It's
bet
like
a
20
lot.
numbers long.
People that go to the library, I think, know their
20.
library card number.
They don't. They don't need to know it.
Y'all,
Because they
please.
use the physical card.
Somebody in the comments, please tell me if you know your library card number.
No.
Is that abnormal?
Yes.
No, it's not.
I have never in my life memorized my library card number. If I've needed to use my library card, I use my library card, not punch in the numbers.
That's such a fun fact that I never knew I had.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's totally not weird. So, a library card number, driver's license number, credit card number, phone numbers. I mean,
All
like,
of these numbers are in her
are
mind.
used
Are in her mind.
because they're used.
Yeah, even the ones that are not used, you will be able to recall numbers that you haven't seen in years. You will be able to recognize the number. It's absolutely true. I've witnessed it, which makes no sense. It's wild.
So, yeah, so my memory is a little different than others. But again, going right back to the topic of listening, babe. I have to call you Kylan because that's just weird.
You literally do
I'm
not.
talking to them.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
That's
so anyways,
crazy.
he will sit and listen.
He.
Yeah, you will sit and listen to me read, and I don't think it would be as easy if he was the one reading, because then I'd have to sit and listen.
No, and it for sure is not, because we did attempt it a couple times early on, and we came to the conclusion that no, it would not work out. So that was one of the things that just so happened to work out. I enjoy hearing my wife's voice. I enjoy listening to her. So it was just easier to say, sure, you go ahead and read. Because I first we tried taking turns, she would read a page and I would read a page, let's make it fair. But my wife was not on board with that.
I check out.
She checked out
And
immediately.
wouldn't you assume that that's what he's also doing? Like he's like pretending to listen, just it seems as if he is, because that's what I was assuming in the beginning. But then he would actually comment.
What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, this is my first time hearing this, people.
Okay.
I had never heard
Who
this.
does this? Who does this? Like
What?
babe? Like, who actually listens like that and for so long? And he would comment on his own, like I didn't ask a question or anything. Like he would just actually comment on whatever was just said. Like if it was a good part in the book or something, like it would actually chime in and be like, that's crazy or whatever. I can't think of an example, but I'm like, you're really listening, and that was. We have an episode talking about building trust. That right there, just simply reading to each other, was a form of building trust, because you really are listening, and that helps trust the person, does it not? Like they listen to you, and so that's beautiful and fun, and it was something that was. Did you want to comment on that comment?
I'm flabbergasted right now.
Right.
I never knew.
Man, I feel like that's an easy assumption for
An easy assumption.
Who would think? First of all, this was literally one of our very first conversations, because. And how did we come across this recently? Because we did somehow, where I was talking about, I was reading, and I don't remember what your response was, but somehow, like literally, one of our very first conversations, which again would have been through text, we were talking about what I was reading. And then he mentioned at some point within that conversation how he has always wanted to, like, I think he used mowing the lawn as an example at that
Yeah, for
point.
sure. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so like he was talking about like if like to have like headphones or Bluetooth or whatever,
Yeah.
to where he could be out mowing the lawn listening to his wife read, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, man. That's
Who
amazing.
says that? And that's like, yeah, that is amazing, right? Like what? And then we made it a reality to where we did do it one time.
We did. We've
but
made it happen.
It was too loud.
Yeah,
like
I think I need.
I was distracted. Like I couldn't hear it.
I think what we need to do is get just some higher quality headphones, like the big noise canceling headphones, and then I could mute myself so you don't have to hear anything. But then I could listen to you read, and you see me hearing you, so you know I can hear you.
How would I see you?
Well, you'll be able to look out the window and see.
Oh my gosh!
Sure, he has his headphones on. He's listening.
Yeah, well, one, I'd have to be here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, but so often I'm not here, and that's a way. Like, so you weren't mowing the lawn, but that's the way we still brought it to reality, and so we'd just be on the phone during my lunch break, and I'd be reading a book, and he'd be listening, truly listening. And that's like that's just so amazing. And so so it was already a hobby of my own because reading was a thing for me well before I knew him, and then it tied into being able to do it with each other and still like fulfill something that he always wanted. Which what are the odds?
Yeah, because for me it's something that I had always done my entire life. My mother instilled a love of reading in me and my siblings from birth. Yeah, like because she was a book lover, so she gave birth to book lovers.
That's amazing.
My two oldest siblings, they didn't necessarily take to it as much, but me and the sister that's closest in age to me, like we loved to read. We loved books. Yeah. So we were reading all the time. That would be quality time. Has always been reading. That would be something we would do. Everybody would go. We pick out a book. We take some time out of our day. We get our comfy spot in the house, and sometimes we wouldn't necessarily even have to be all in the same room. It would just be that time of the day would be designated for reading. So we would have a bean bag or a sleeping bag or lay on the couch or lay in the bed, whatever's comfortable. We'd all be reading our own individual books, enjoying each other's presence and enjoying our books all together. So it was like such a beautiful thing that I always really loved. And I love books. I love knowledge. I love learning things. I love reading. And so that's always been something that I desire to have continue on into my life. And it's amazing that I did actually find that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was
on accident.
Really fun.
That's the thing that's like amazing too. It's not like you go looking for these traits and then it's like they were just
find
there.
out. It's there.
Yeah. I hope that we can pass that down to our girls.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to that moment where we can have a day like that where we're just all reading our own book. Yeah. And as I was thinking that thought, I was like, well, with our oldest, I definitely remember her saying that she doesn't quite enjoy reading. However,
she's been getting her back at reading for sure.
It like changed over time. So that's a beautiful thing. I can't remember the scripture, but it made me think of a scripture. Like, lead them in the way, and eventually they'll get there is basically the the summary of whatever scripture that is. And so, like, just lead by example, and maybe not at first, but eventually they'll come around, because that's what happened. For sure. And she with her own money just bought a whole bunch of books.
Yeah, a whole series.
Yeah. So that's like amazing and cool. So we could definitely have that day once the babies are older. Yeah. And although we could even start, well, not with a newborn. No, she can't hold a book.
She's a bit young for that.
But 18 months. She can't quite read, but she does like to flip through pages and point. So we could definitely do that. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So that's exciting, something
Yeah.
to look forward to.
But as far as quality time and just time on a whole,
Yeah.
it's like it's became very important to me. Like it was maybe about at this point about 10 years or so. It's been about 10 to 11 years where life took a turn to
Mm-hmm.
where it became very much so evident that time is our most precious commodity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's important
Yeah.
because you never know when is your time going to run out. Your time with your loved ones, your own personal time, any day it could be it. So you have to choose how you spend your time wisely. Be selective with who you give your time to. It's one of the only things in life that you can never get back. So you have to be very mindful of that and really take the time to understand the importance of it and the value that it has.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you spend that time, you never get it back. You're constantly aging. You can't go back and change how you spent your time.
No.
So the results of that is who you end up being. Is the results of how you chose to spend your time. What your memories look like are all the results of how you chose to spend your time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to take the time
But
to acknowledge that and really think about how you're spending your time. Like,
yeah.
is it the best way that you could be spending your time? Is it advantageous to your goals? Is it furthering your happiness, your peace? Are you spending your time in a way that enriches your life, where you feel like you're not just going through the motions? It's not just monotony on a daily basis. You truly feel like you're living.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are just doing what they do, just going through the motions day after day, doing the same thing, the same routine that they don't love. There's nothing wrong with routine, there's nothing wrong with structure, but it becomes an issue if you're not happy or at peace with what it is you're choosing to do on the daily in your life.
Right.
Like naturally, there will be times where you'll do things that you don't necessarily love, but you also have to make time in those moments to create the the right environment to cultivate your own personal passions and really have those moments of self-care, because again that's something that's very important. How we spend our time is self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of time is wasted on the daily. You don't have conversations that need to be had. You spend a lot of time dancing on eggshells, beating around the bush, avoiding what you feel like to be issues instead of addressing them to get a certain result that you feel like would be more helpful to you in your life.
Right.
You know, it, those moments, you run out of time. You do run out of time and you never have the opportunity to do something you felt like maybe you would have done. Maybe you would have did things differently. So it's always a good time to do what you feel like you would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do tomorrow what you can do today.
Yeah.
Because that is a very true thing. A
Yeah.
lot of people put say, "Oh well, I'll get around to it. Oh, that project I've been wanting to do is fine.
Next thing you know,
There's
that's
time."
literally 10 years later.
10 years later.
That you may be lucky to still have 10 years later.
Exactly.
But one, it's still not done.
Still not
and
done.
then two, not everybody has that 10 years later.
Yeah. So it is really important with how you choose to spend your time. And for me, how I choose to spend my time is quality time with my wife, with our children. That's the most important thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that is like the main way I choose to spend my time.
Ditto. It's a good time.
For sure. So that I would say is another interesting question for you all. How do you choose to spend your time? What are the things that you do on a daily basis that you feel like is something that brings you joy, that brings you peace and happiness? Is it something that you're focused on, something you're driven and passionate about, that you're really excited to do, something that you want to achieve? Like what ways in which are you spending your time to allow you to achieve these goals that you have for yourself?
Yeah, and I'd like to ask if you're a couple that doesn't enjoy time together as much as we do, because people do like to do their own thing.
It's true.
How is it that you come back together, and how do you keep your relationship and love, like the fire, the flame lit?
Yeah. How do you keep the connection strong?
Yeah, how do you keep your connection strong when you're spending so much time apart? Like what do you do to then come back together? That's
Yeah,
my question.
that's true.
So I hope somebody will engage in the comments and answer.
Because that's definitely another way in which we balance each other out, and that we're balanced and equally yoked in that situation. That we do enjoy spending time with one another. We are each other's best friend.
Yeah.
So there's not really a time where we need to sort of spend our time separately to where we're navigating, oh well, I want to go have a guys weekend and hang out with the guys so all weekend, or she wants to have a girls trip and go hang out with the girls. That's like never really an issue.
Yeah.
Because the times where it has arisen in our relationship where there was time that you wanted to go out and spend with your friends, it was never really an issue because we do spend so much time together to where when it's a shift in that, it's not too big of an issue. Now, it can be at certain times where only if there's something that we said we were going to do or time that we were dedicating to each other to where now we have this shift that was unplanned.
Right.
As long as the communication is there, it doesn't need to be an issue. If it's a new plan, when the new plan arises, just a simple, okay, well, here's the new shift in the plan. This is what needs to happen now. Perhaps we can do this instead at a different time to keep that peace. Because a lot of times that communication breakdown is what can cause issues within relationships. Okay, sure, we said we were going to do this, and then you find out there's some other plan that comes up that you would like to do instead. You don't communicate that until the time of the event or the day of when you've known about it for a couple days to a week or 2 weeks or a month or so in advance. And so now it's a bigger issue because the conversation wasn't had to really bring everybody back to being on the same page.
Yep.
So I feel like that's another way in which communication is really essential.
Yep.
Because, yeah, spending time is important. It's very important because even especially for those of you who didn't necessarily spend the time like us from the beginning with having all of those important life conversations. Like that is how you get to know your partner, your spouse, or the person that you're in a relationship with. If you're still in the dating stage, like you have to choose how you spend your time very wisely to make opportunities to learn one another, figure out what the other person likes and what they don't like, and how they like to spend their time. So if there's a moment that you are apart, you have a general idea of how the other is choosing to spend their time. And you can more realistically learn how that would align with your life together moving forward. If that's something that actually would work out and be conducive of a healthy and happy relationship for the both of you.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
So what else is there? Well, we like to watch movies and
movies, TV.
Like that would feel like I feel like that would be something where it might feel like a waste of time. Like eventually, like not eventually, but initially is what I meant to say. When you're like on your own, I feel like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain my thought, but I'm trying to say that doing it together changes
The dynamic. Sure.
the fact of like you're just like spending like episode after episode.
Yeah. I will say that that is something that we have found a good balance with, because that was something. My wife is a big TV watcher.
Yeah.
She loves watching TV shows and movies and documentaries and things, as do I. That's something that's always been a part of my quality time as well. That we would spend a lot of time growing up with my siblings and our parents. We would watch movies and TV shows and all these things together as a family. So that was nice quality time.
Yeah.
But if you after you spent so much time doing a certain activity, it's like you don't want to spend every free moment you get watching something, because when you do that, there's always something new to watch. It's something that never ends. It's easy to get really sucked into a TV show. If you start a new series, you want to watch the whole series. You find out it's got like 10 seasons, and each season is like 12 to 20 episodes long.
Yeah.
That is a large span of time to dedicate to watching something else.
Which is funny that that's a today problem, because it used to be that you had to wait a week.
Yeah.
You know, you had commercial breaks, you know, to like
do whatever, or even just enjoy the commercials. But now, with the accessibility being what it is, everything is right there at your fingertips. Several shows, several episodes, easy, mindless consumption, which can be nice at times.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, it's easy to lose yourself in that, to the point where it's like, okay, we need to break it up a little bit. Let's take a break. Let's do something else. Let's go somewhere. We can go out to eat. We could go out to the park and read. We could go sit in the driveway and read our book. Just go on a walk. We could go downstairs, cook a meal, spend some quality time doing something else, like play a board game. Or play a card game, something else to like break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is something that we both truly do enjoy. Like, one of the things I love so much is, like, especially if it's something that I've already seen and I'm now sharing with my wife, I love watching her watch a show. It's so much fun. You get to see all these fun reactions to everything. Yeah. It's like I now get to experience her experience.
Yeah.
Watching something for the first time, and that is a really fun experience to have.
Yeah. I just wanted to add, because I started to say it, but I wanted to let you finish. I saw a meme where, and I don't remember like the numbers they chose, but basically it was like, would you like to watch an 8-hour movie? Like, no. Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
You saw that too?
I see that, yeah.
How about like 8 episodes, 8-hour episode, 1-hour episodes? And it's like, yes, sign me up right now, play.
Right.
Right? Because it really is the same thing. Like, that's how we're getting sucked in today. Like, you would not sit down and watch an 8-hour movie, but somehow we are like watching full binging seasons.
As if it's an episode.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. It's all a trick of the mind, for sure.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if the sound control like took out the baby. So yeah, that's our alarm and timing to go ahead and spend our quality time with our newborn right now.
Yeah, man.
And we will catch y'all on the next episode.
And as always, wishing you much peace and prosperity, everyone. Stay well and prosper.